Hello, everyone. Bill Molyneux here for Bill's Wargame World and Bill's Boathouse Bunker. All right, it's May 31st, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. We were supposed to head out to Williamsburg for the market fair and see Dave at Hampton Roads Winery there and stuff. But Lisa's not feeling up to leaving the house today. So we're going to play this game and staying out here so I don't disturb the dogs. And then we'll mow the lawn when it gets a little drier. All right, let's start off. We have just 4 regiments each. The objective will be to control the farm area. And this is a fictional 1863 game of Mathews, Virginia, where we are located. Fort Nonsense right down the road. We're going to go ahead and start. I got rule sheets here. And we are good to go. I'll keep them over here off the table. And the Union, Confederates high die. Confederates move first. All right, let's change our camera angle. All right, right off the bat, the Confederates see the Yankees coming down the road. So they will go ahead and move here, come up, and they're going to form line here. 1, 2, a little on the edge. Put our Confederate flag bearers are in the center. Oh. Now there will be some creaks and cranks in this video because we're in the boathouse. And I know that Kevin the Marine, and I got several Marines that are watching anymore. I got Kevin, I got Kyle. Let's move up our next regiment. What do you say? Now to control that farmhouse, we're going to lose an inch break down the fence. We go 15 inches. So we're going to have this regiment going out here. Our figures are a mix of BMC, Marks, Ideal. There's some really old figures in here. And Jim Shaw's painted some were already painted. And also some were gifted to me by Chris Palmer of the Hawks. And I really appreciate that. All right, let's move our other 2 units out. They're only going to move 9 inches. And we'll send them forward. All right, our Union lines are moving through this woods and orchards, so they don't move quite so fast. I had to split them up a little bit to get around that building. Their objective will to form line against this fence line there. All right, let's move our Union troops. First battle of, really the first big battle here in the Bill's Boathouse. And I really hope to be living here full time in the next year or 2. Well, we lose an inch going across. So they're about here. There we go. This unit will move around the corner, and they can change formation after or before they move. They are not allowed to change formation and charge. So 15 inches. And like brother against brother, move the main stand and then form everything else around it. 3. And this is, I got the big boathouse doors open, so we have some wind. Hopefully it won't blow anything over. Our Union line is formed up, and then I have the regiment on the other side that is in column on the road of the edge of the table behind that house. I'm going to go ahead and move them up, and they're going to form here. They will not be able to I don't know. I can't change formation. I'd be in front of them. All right. Now we have poker chips here for our casualty markers, and I have red poker chips for morale markers. All right. Well, let's advance let's see about firing. I don't think anyone's 36 is our maximum range. We do have fire of 3 bases here. Or over 24. 3 Confederate bases fire with no hits. And then the Union will fire, and they got 5 bases. And they scored, wow, 1, 2, they scored 4 hits. All right off the bat, this unit took 4 casualties. Pretty stunning loss already. And they get a red marker. Okay. There we go. Really good shooting by that Union regiment. They needed 5 or 6s, and they got them. All right, let's see who's going to move first. Next, turn 2. Turn 2, and Confederates will move first on turn 2. Firing is simultaneous. So let's change our camera angle. This unit needs to pass its morale. It's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Down 1 base, and it gets a +1. Now, 1 through 5 was passing with 1 base loss. They are fine. Okay. Let's see what's next. This unit is fine. They're going to close the gap here. You know what? I'll sit right where I'm at. I'm going to see if I get enough movement. No. So our column unit does not have enough inches to move around. The best they can do is get to about here, and they would still be in column. But we'll pause the camera as I think about things. All right, that's as far as that unit can move. They're just constricted by the building and also their movement rate. They did form a line, but not all their line is up front. So if we get into firing, they're only going to be firing 3 bases. Our next Confederate unit, and this side of the house, we'll set these guys up. All right. We'll move our tree over here. I love these 54s on these big bases. All right. And then we know we have plenty of movement for this regiment. I won't even get out the tape measure for that. Now the Chuckleheads right now are playing probably at Walt's secret lair with all the fellas. I presume Mike and Kevin. I don't know if Derek and Joseph are there. But this is the best I can do on my own here. I have not advertised for any wargamers in Mathews because I'm not really here all the time, so I don't want to. And maybe in another 6 months or something, I'll see if there's. The Old Dominion wargamers meet on Thursdays in Newport News, about an hour from here, 45 minutes. All right, let's move our Union troops. All right, let's change our camera angle. Or does that look good? I don't know. Let's bring them up. Well, I lost my tape measure. You know, no matter what wargaming table I'm at, I lose rules, dice, and tape measures. All right, I don't want to be caught in the open field. We'll take cover behind the fence. For this regiment, we are going to lose 3 inches, come up, change formation, and see what you can see on that. And you can't see anything. Hold. All right, this unit be about here. Forming line, and the best it can get is 3 bases out. Because of the terrain and the fencing, the whole unit couldn't get in position. And then I'm going to send this one up 12 inches. Which falls right in with this unit. So 2, 3, and we'll reinforce the line like so. And then we'll bring up our other regiment. And I will say, as I've gotten older, I just find that super simple rules, big figures, don't have to think a lot, are really nice when you're an old retired guy. And then, of course, there are times you want something with a little bit more detail, especially when you're wargaming with your buddies, like Sands of the Sudan with the chuckleheads. All right, everyone. We're going to resolve some firing. I'm going to let the camera go a little bit. You're actually seeing where I'm firing. So we're going to fire 2 bases here with 4, 5, or 6s. That's 2 hits. 2 bases here. 2 more hits. So they'll lose a base. And they also get a morale marker. So they came out and they're getting riddled. And I got to check if that's under 12. I think it's over 12. Yep, just a little bit. They got 2 hits, even though they're... All right, so the Confederates got their licks in. Everything else is too far away. All right, let's move our camera angle and have the Federal troops return fire. All right, our Federal troops... Oh, this base, he missed, but let's have that 1 base fire. All right, this base fired and hit. That's 1 loss and a marker. And then we have the other 2 bases to fire here. And they are 2 more hits. Okay. So the Confederates also are taking losses. So it's a... All right. Now we have this unit here. And it gets... So we fired everything here. And then we have the line there. They need 5 or 6s. We got 3 bases, and they got 1 hit, which is enough to cause a morale check. And there's a marker. Okay, so for turn 2, Confederates here lose a base. No, they don't. They only took 3 hits. They're fine. This unit, though, did. All right. And they have 2 casualties. I have to order casualty markers for this house. I'm using poker chips. All right. Let's do our morale checks going into turn 3. Here we go. Morale checks for turn 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they passed. This Union regiment, 1, 2, 3, 4. This regiment here. Let's see if you can see it. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. They need a 1 through 4. They're average. And they rolled a 2. They're fine. And that's anything but a 6 for this unit. And they rolled a 6. Okay, so we have a Union regiment is routing. All right, now, if they had been better than average, they would have passed. But now they're running 18 inches. They're scurrying away. They lost. Let's see if they're... There they go. And we take a red poker chip with them. Now, they ran through this regiment here. So they need anything but a 6 or they rout. And I rolled another 6. Holy cow. So we have a Donnybrook. So they're going to run 18 inches. I can't believe it. So resolve the morale checks prior to the movement for both sides. So we got 2 Union regiments routing. And then we still have this Confederate unit to test. They need anything but a 6, and they got a 4, and they have 1 casualty. All right, pause the camera here. Well, the Confederates move first. The first thing I'm going to do is have them charge in that flank. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This Confederates need anything but a 6 to charge. They're going in with the rebel yell. Okay. And our Union 1, 2, 3, 4, they need anything but a 5 or 6 to stand. And they're standing. All right. So we got a melee there. Now we know the object of the game is to hold that White House. And the Confederates have well secured that. They can move 12 inches forward. And there we go, close enough. And they have 1 casualty. All right, our Union troops, we have 2 regiments routing, 1 in melee. And then we have this unit. All right, it's going to pay a penalty of 1 inch. It's going to wheel, break down the fence. And that's where we're at. And of course, this video is helping to raise money for Braddock's Battlefield History Center. All of you that watch, and I appreciate all of you. All right, let's resolve some firing. Okay, our 4 bases of Union infantry, they get the fire coming in, and they cause 3 hits. So the Confederates lose a base coming in, and they have 2 more wounds on them. All right, so the Confederate charge could be broken up. They have to test morale again. They're down to 3 bases going in. 1 through 4, they're still good, and they still are. They're going in. Now they get a +1 in melee, and we'll resolve melee after the rest of the firing. Then we have an odd thing over here. We have the unit firing 3 bases forward at a retreated unit, and check the range. See if it's past 24. And it's not. I didn't think it was. So they need 5 and 6s. Oh, they got 3 hits. Shooting into the rear of the... Oh, and 3 hits causes... They already have 2. Oh, there we go. And they lose a base. All right, so they keep a morale marker. And then over on the flank, they're going to fire 2 bases out there. And the snake eyes. All right, our Union are going to fire back out there. And they're getting 5 dice. And 5 and 6s, they got 1 hit. All right, so our Confederates there. And our maximum range is 36 inches. I don't think they can see them. Oh, yeah. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to have 10 bases all along this fence line fire. All right. And we're way in range. It didn't look like they were. So I'm going to do the first 5. Now they need 6s at this range. Well, there's 2 hits. Total of 5 hits. So you got... Oh, no, it's 6s. So 3 hits. Excuse me. Their maximum range. So this Union regiment did take 3 hits, though, and a morale marker. Okay. So we have to finish our melee. Let's get that done next. Really neat playing here in the boathouse. My first really big game. And our melee, 4 Union bases. And they scored 1, 2, 3 hits. Okay. That's 2, 3, 4. They lost a base. And they have to check morale. We'll have our Confederates. Confederates scored 2. Okay. Put out another marker here. So in this melee, the Confederates have lost more. We'll do a morale check to see if they'll hold. They need a 1, 2, or a 3, and they fail. And the Union held. So they're good. So this Confederate regiment's going to skedaddle. 18 inches. All right. We'll pause the camera while I move them. All right, so our regiment here ran away 18 inches. This unit holds. This Confederate regiment needs to see if it will hold. And it does. Because we're going into turn I guess 3 or 4. I've lost track. That regiment out there, it needs anything but a 6. And it rolled a 2. It's fine. All right, now on the back, the Union Army, it's only a small brigade of 4 regiments. Okay. We are going to fall back like that and like that. Okay. And that's all I'm doing with the Confederates. The Union, I'll pause the camera while I figure out what to do with them. All right. This Union regiment went this way. And if I turn on their flank, I'll get shot on the flank on the right. I'm going to fall them back. I'm going to put them here, like so. Here is the Battle of Mathews, Virginia, my fictional battle. So, let's commence firing. What do you say? I lost track. I don't know if this is turn 3 or 4 now. You got 4 bases firing here with 4, 5, or 6s, and not a single hit. Confederates firing back with 3, and they got 2 hits. All right, so let's mark them. And that will remove a base also. All right. We got the other 2 firing with 5 or 6s, and they're misses. Now, way along that Union fence line, we'll have and I had a giant bird just fly in the boathouse. That was sort of weird. Okay, here we go. 3, 4, 5. I forget, I'm out in the no man's land. We need 5 and 6s. We got 2 hits. All right, so I'm being distracted by, I think it was bigger than a sparrow, let me tell you. It wasn't a crane. So we have hits there for 2. That actually will remove a base from our Confederates. They already had 2. And we did that. Oh. All right. So they lost a base. Let's do our morale checks. Confederates with 4. They're fine. Okay, they're routing 18 inches. I think it's a bleak day for the Union. There they go. So, and Union regiment there is fine. All right. Wow. That's pretty much it, I think. Our Confederates are holding the building. The Federals only have 1 regiment left on the fence line there. Their other 3 regiments have skedaddled. We have 2 that are off the table. 1 needs to pass again or will be gone. I'm going to say it's a Confederate victory. Okay, everyone, I'm going to close this out. A nice hour-long game. Took me an hour and 10 minutes roughly. I'm going to keep the battlefield. I'm going to go lengthways the next time. I'm going to throw in a cavalry regiment and an artillery piece on each side and leaders. Donald Featherstone rules quickly. You can move 12 inches in line, lose 3 inches crossing through rough ground, lose an inch on fences. Musket range is 12, 24, 36 with 4, 5, or 6s, 5 or 6s, and 6s. The game itself, very simple. You're rolling 1 die per base, and morale checks are handled a 1 through 5, D6. A 6 is a fail unless you're an above average grade. And that's it. I'm going to go and see how Lisa's feeling. I'm hoping to get her re-energized that we can go out and do something this afternoon. And if not, we'll just have fun here together and watch a movie or something. I like everyone to know, appreciate all your notes of my wife and, that she's feeling better and things. I appreciate it. Stay safe, be kind, be courteous. Please watch my channel. Please subscribe. Get others to subscribe so we can help these small museums. Oh, I forgot. We got a donation yesterday for a small museum to get some Bill Molyneux games and historical simulation games by the historical wargaming company, Stephen Kling. They're going to get donated to 2 different museums here in Virginia. And the person that donated the hard cold cash asked not to be mentioned by name on the channel. Thank you, everyone. Now, stay safe, be kind, be courteous, and as Kevin would say of the Chuckleheads, be true to your school. This was a fun diversion from sort of a frustrating morning.